found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now.
Okay, so here we are, and we don't have PG with us.
Here we are without PG.
He's using his dual membership status in Canada right now.
He's in the Great
dual
North,
citizenship. Yeah. He is up there in the Great North, up in the Polly's cabin, hiding with Lisa Kay.
It's a good place.
The great fisherwoman that she is.
Yeah.
Apparently, she can catch the fish out there.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He
Yeah.
was like she beat him or something.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, and I think oftentimes the guy who's usually driving,
yeah,
he's kind of behind the eight ball as far as fishing goes.
Yeah, he's
things to think about other than just casting rod.
whatever works for him, I guess.
Yep.
But for me, that would not be a fun situation. I've told you that before.
Yeah. You need technology.
I need technology. I definitely need a plug for a fan.
Yeah.
You
have all that. It is just unplugging from
the
world as far as
I don't know if I could do it.
Internet.
I mean, I could probably bring a book and read a book.
You're a reader.
Yeah, I'm a reader. I could read a book, but
bring a guitar.
Yeah, we do that.
Are you a puzzle guy?
Yeah, we do puzzles. Okay. We can play games. I mean, we have a bunch of games in our camper that we play when we go out.
So it's that. It's you're gonna do some puzzles. You're gonna read a book. You're gonna write a song. You're gonna whatever. Right?
You do a lot of stuff.
Yep. Really very chill, but I hear you. I got about 2 days of that in me, and then I'm like, all right,
I'm done.
Yeah.
It's time to call it.
Yep. Yeah. So the Pastor Matt just got back from the leadership trip from Montana, right? We heard all about that, and I was thinking about that because, my daughter will be on that trip next year, right? She'll be, and I was like, I was talking to you a little bit about it. I was like, I think I should probably go on that.
Yeah.
Like, I think, that would be a cool thing to experience with
Do you really
her.
want to? I mean, it's 3,700 miles.
But that's the part that I'm like,
I mean, you can get your daughter like the first 6 hours, and then after that, you know.
Well, and it's not like she's going to want to hang out with me the whole time, too. So I'll be there, right? But yeah, I have this internal struggle of like, my daughter is going to be a senior and all what that all means next year. And Sarah McLachlan is playing in my head. I will remember you. And I'm getting all the dad feels.
Yeah.
But like, I'm also like, do I really want to be in a van with that close quarters with
a bunch of teenagers?
Yeah.
That
I was a youth pastor for a long time, but
you were,
at the end of it, it was time to not be a youth pastor.
I'm just, the times that I've had to do youth functions and being in a van with kids for a long period of time.
Well, you and I are a lot alike in that we need a little chance to recharge.
Right, yeah.
So I love you, but get away from me.
And I don't want to smell.
Right, yeah.
Well, back in the day, it was Axe spray,
gosh,
and
man.
I think girls were using some sort of perfume from, I don't know, some pop star.
Yeah,
too much.
The aerosol can stuff is the worst.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Instant headache.
Yeah.
Instant headache.
And then by the time you're done, you're like, you can't smell anything else but that it's in your nose,
Like, hey, that was hilarious for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Now we're miserable for 2 days.
I'm like, go take a shower.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Sleep in here together, and it stinks like aerosol.
And then it's always the thing for me was you always have that one kid that has the sneakers that I don't know what they got into.
Sure.
But they are so bad that they're about ready to take you out. It's too much. I don't know. So they're up in a cabin somewhere enjoying God's great north up in Canada. Yep. And
what's your ideal vacation? It's like Lisa Kay and Gary have both said that is their favorite vacation that they've taken.
Yeah. For me,
what's yours? Like, I mean, obviously you got to keep it. It's not like, going to southern France or something.
Right.
Keep it like real. Like if you and Amy get to get out of Dodge,
where would we go?
Choosing? What would she choose and what would you choose? And are those on polar opposites?
I think we both would choose, going to Florida in the winter because we used to do that a lot.
Okay.
We liked it.
How long did you go?
Usually about a week, 2 weeks. And that was
2 weeks is nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, we got to be down there, go on the beach.
Yep.
I don't like like super overly planned vacations.
Okay.
I like to meander and like discover, you know.
What do you meander and discover in Florida, though?
You know, beaches, maybe beaches. Well, weird things, like we would go to Tarpon Springs. That's where all the sponges come from. So we go there, and I like to just meander around and look at stuff.
Sure.
I'm not a guy that has got to be, we got to do this at 5 o'clock. We got to go on this trip or whatever. That kind of stuff I don't like. And she tends to be the same way. She kind of likes that stuff, but
that's good.
Yeah, and I like to go and hang out and listen to bands and stuff.
Okay.
So, we went to a couple Mexican restaurants down there that had live music and stuff, and that was fun.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. But I don't want to have a planned thing. I don't want to be like scheduled every 5 seconds. And that's what she definitely does do well.
Okay.
Like she will plan. Yeah, she'll plan out everything, and it's like at some point I just want to wake up late.
Yeah.
And go just wander around.
Just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But Florida definitely has been a highlight of my vacation journey.
Because you just want to get out of the snow for a little bit.
I want to get out of the snow. I want to go somewhere warm where there's water I can get into.
Okay.
Be on a beach or whatever. And then usually we would go in February, so usually it wasn't that hot.
Yep.
So it was kind of like summer Michigan weather.
That's the time to go to Florida.
Yeah. I don't want to go right now.
I don't love Florida.
You don't at all?
I mean, I like to go to Disney World.
Yeah, okay. I got you. Yeah.
My kids have done that a couple times. That was fun for them. It was fun for me. I think one of the best vacations that I've taken with my kids has been Nashville.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Because you get out of the snow.
Yeah.
So if we're talking like weather-wise, like in the winter, like I definitely do need to get out of the snow for, a little bit. Nashville is not warm, but it's not snowy and freezing.
Right.
And then, so the weather's decent. Lots of cool music.
Yep.
Bop around to cool restaurants.
That's a great place to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously the music thing, but like East Nashville is really cool. And like there's stuff you can do outside of Broadway.
Right.
Broadway's fun, but it's one day. And then, there's like, have you seen the Gibson Garage they just built?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Is it pretty nice?
Oh my gosh, man. All these videos. I just had a buddy who went and he's taking videos of it. And it's, like when you go to the laundromat and they have on the dry cleaning thing, it's that like rotating, like here's all your dry cleaning hung up, and then you have a number, and then they hit a button, it goes and like it spins around. And
okay, yeah.
They have that with like just Les Pauls. it's like hundreds of like $5,000 sick crazy Les Pauls.
I'm surprised you would even walk out of that place after a while. You'd be just like, I'm just going to sit here and watch.
It's pretty sweet.
You're
Gibson Garage. So I've never been there, but I've seen some. It's newer, so I've seen some videos on that. That's cool. But Athens, Georgia is really cool.
Yeah,
that's a really cool spot. So I get the get out of the snow thing, but also one of the best vacations that we took, Theo would say, is one time. This is like me trying to figure it out by myself for the first time. Yeah. We went to the Cincinnati Zoo. We went to the Creation Museum. But on the way there, we went to the Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
In Canton. And that was
that'd be fun.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Not nice weather.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're in Ohio, but it's fun to go see that. That is sweet, man.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, my wife, most of our trips, she plans weird destinations on the route.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know where she finds all these, but so.
Well, you got to get her to do Canton because it's not on 75 or 75.
Yeah, well, I would
out of the way.
Well, now that she's in football, because last couple seasons, she's been getting into football big time, and she'll watch all the games with me when the Lions are playing, and so that's been a kind of a new evolution for us.
Sure.
So I would say she probably would want to see it now.
Yeah, it is cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it like Canton's it's attached to a little stadium, which I recently learned a high school team plays there during the fall.
Oh, really?
Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah, right.
Your high school experience is playing in that little stadium.
You can say that's where we play.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then like they always have the year that we went, the Chiefs we're off their Super Bowl, so they had like this visual thing that was like the year in, of the Chiefs. And it's kind of like some behind the scenes stuff and very, very cool. Like, and it's NFL Films that did it, which they do a really good job with their stuff.
They do really good.
And then, you saw like Tom Brady's, uniform and gear, and it's surprising how small it is.
Yeah.
Like you see this stuff and you see them on TV thinking they're kind of like,
they're huge.
They're not though.
Yeah.
They're very slight people.
Quarterbacks are definitely small.
Yeah. But not even tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, pretty crazy.
You get the defenders out there and they're Nephilim.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of
they're
them
big
are.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. They're huge. I was looking at, they had the official jersey on eBay of I can't remember the player, but of one of the players who's a defender, retired, and his jersey was 7X.
Really?
Yeah, to get over all the equipment.
Yeah. Well, and I think equipment has changed too.
Yeah.
So that's gotten smaller.
That would be like a dress on me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just humongous.
Yeah, I'm a large human, but that's way too big. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, imagine if you got to get it over the pads and everything, it needed something bigger.
Yeah. This is going to be the football podcast today.
This is going to be, and he's not here to stop us. You can't even hear it because he's not even near the internet.
Right? Yeah.
Well, do you wonder why you take the time each week to listen to more podcasts? I'll tell you why. More stands for maximizing opportunities for right now and eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on.
Just don't not listen.
Listen all the time.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
share it with people.
Tell them. It's so funny because last week I had 3 people that had never heard they didn't even know we had a podcast. I'm like, we're 3 seasons into this now. Yeah,
I think we could do a better job of locally getting the word out consistently. It doesn't have to be weekly, but every couple months we go, hey, remember the podcast? Yeah, I think we can do a better job.
I think we need to do that. I told PG, I think I'm going to get a banner, put it over by Coffee Connection.
Oh, that's a good idea.
With a QR code to like Spotify or Apple. And then they can check it out and have our 3 mugshots on there.
Absolutely. I think getting on the news once in a while too, service, like that's good. So,
but just something for people to go, hey.
Yep.
They listened to it when they were on their last missions trip.
Yeah.
And Jeanette Haas, she's like, I didn't know we had a podcast.
Come on, Jeanette.
Jeanette, you've been with us for years.
This is she's a regular listener. I guarantee it.
I bet. Once you get a first time and listen to it, you're like, how can I not? Because I want to know what these guys are going to possibly say on this podcast.
Well, that's right.
Today's show is sponsored by Bomba Socks. Bomba has generously given us over 70,000 pairs of socks to share with people in need right here in our communities. For every pair you purchase online at bombas.com, they donate a pair to someone who needs the safety, comfort, and dignity that a great pair of socks provides. Mm-hmm. So when you're ready for your next pair, head over to bombas.com. Not only will you get some of the most comfortable socks out there, you'll also be helping someone else in the process. That's bombas.com. Yeah.
Bombas.com.
70,000 pairs.
Just here.
That's that we've given away to shelters
that's
and
so cool.
The rehabilitation community that's up here. It's just amazing how many socks
you think about that, like I think about those guys coming into our recovery communities, and oftentimes I would imagine it's kind of like, I just showed up at the heat. I didn't know I was coming here.
Right. Yeah.
It's just sort of like my family got a hold of me, and the Lord spoke to me, and I got to go, and so they just go, and you probably aren't packing correctly. You're
not bringing anything, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to be able to go, hey, man, here's some socks.
Yeah.
Because that's so important, right?
People don't realize.
Dirty socks.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to do that where you're like, 2-day-old socks? That's the worst.
You feel different when you get a new pair of socks on.
Yeah. I got a new pair on today.
Did you really? Let's see.
I got my Bombas.
Oh, you got your Bombas ankles on, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Those are nice.
Oh, man.
I know. I love them. It's so funny because we always say that if you've been at Harbor Light long enough, you probably have Bombas socks at some point. Yeah.
I pretty much exclusively only wear Bombas socks. I got so fired up when you said it was something about underwear or T-shirts.
I was getting excited. I was like, let's do it. I can't wait. I keep putting my name on the list, and I'm waiting for them to finally say it. Well, we gave a whole bunch. We gave about 300 or 400 pairs to the sheriff's department here in town.
Yeah, cool.
And the chief, he wears Bombas socks.
Oh,
he
cool.
buys them on his own. And I'm like, did you know they sell black ones that go with your uniform? And he's like,
there you go.
No. And I said, you can't sell them, but they're free. I said, so I'm going to send you all these socks, and he's like, I'm going to give them away. He goes, I might give these away for Christmas presents.
That's awesome.
I'm like, do whatever you got to do, but
awesome.
Your police officers are going to love you for this because, you know, when you're on your feet all the time, it's nice to have something like that.
Yeah. It is.
So
that's awesome.
Bombas is kind of a quasi-sponsor of us. I mean,
it's cool.
They give us, you know, one of the donation spots for Bombas in this area. So it's a kind of a cool thing.
Yes.
Well, we're going to come right back after the ID break, and we're going to do introductions. It's going to be kind of short today because we just got us.
It's true.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Your day is about to get better. How do we know? Because you press play on the More podcast. You're welcome. We will be right back.
Well, legend has it Ted was discovered in the church nursery already preaching full sermons to stuffed animals. By age 5, the teddy bears had all rededicated their lives twice, and naturally his path was clear. Pastor Ted, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. So before becoming a pastor, Alex was actually training to be a professional chainsaw sculptor.
Yeah.
The problem was he only knew how to carve pulpits. No bears, no eagles, just pulpits. Mm-hmm. Word spread, and someone finally said, if you're going to carve pulpits all day, maybe you should just preach from one. And the rest is here history, Pastor.
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
When did you know?
When did I know?
Yeah, like this is more of a serious question.
This is a good one. Yeah.
When were you like, I think I need to be a pastor? The Lord has called me.
Yeah. Well, you know what happened when my dad was still preaching? We had a revivalist pastor come, and I was about
how old
9 years.
Yeah, okay,
nine years old, and they said, you know, God's got a call in your life, you know, and I didn't know what that meant.
Did you fight it?
Oh yeah.
You're like, no way.
Yeah, I mean, I shared a couple Sundays ago.
I'm going to be a rock and roll star.
Well, I wasn't so much that, but I wanted to get married and have a family.
Okay.
And so that was my concern. I was always just like, I got to work and make money. I wanted to do music on the side.
Yeah.
And so I fought it till I was about 21.
Okay.
And then, as I shared in my testimony on a Sunday ago, that's when I said, God, you know, this is what you want me to do.
Yep.
You know, Amy, she had been, she got called when she was a teenager, and she knew that she was supposed to be one as well.
Did you guys talk about that when you were dating?
No, I didn't want to deal with it. I was like Jonah. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was my personality either. Like I've always said, I'm an introvert. I don't. That's not my shtick. I don't like to be in front of people.
But don't you think that the more, I mean, we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
the more pastors you meet, you realize that more they are introverts.
Yeah. Are you an introvert?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that.
I don't I can do it, obviously, but I don't need to be. When I go to a friend's houses or stuff, I like to find a corner and chat with a couple of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not like we had the staff party.
Yes.
And even though I know everybody on
example.
staff, you don't see me going around from table to table to table.
Yep.
Like, hey, what's going on with you?
I think PG's the outlier in that.
Yeah.
But most, like Pat, I would say
he's an extrovert.
Gary is the extrovert for sure. But most of the pastors I've known have been introverts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't think it's my thing. But you know, it's funny because people always say, "I can't believe you're an introvert."
Yeah.
Well, there's a switch that we flip at some point to do what we have to do.
Yep.
And you get into that mode, but when you're done with that mode, I'm right back to where. Yeah.
It's almost like, it's like you need that time to kind of recharge. Yeah. It's not out of inauthenticity to flip the switch. It's just a different gear that you can find. And
yeah. You have to learn it.
Yeah, you do.
You have to learn it because if you don't, you'll never really have a chance of doing this
for
job.
Sure.
Yeah.
When I went into my first couple of years of youth ministry, I had the perspective of I always hung out with really funny guys in high school.
Yeah.
But and I had fun and was a funny guy too, but I wasn't the leader of it.
Right.
And so there was this thing in my head that I need to be, as a youth pastor, the backflip guy, skateboarder.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it just wasn't naturally me. And when I kind of figured that out and got over it, that is where I saw ministry really flourish.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like, oh, wait, the Lord's designed me this way and not what I think the stereotypical, 22-year-old youth pastor should be.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's funny. I was reading an article about Chris Farley, the comedian on SNL. He was an extreme introvert.
Oh, really?
And so when he would act out,
you wouldn't guess that.
You would not guess that.
No.
But for him, when he would act out, that was his shtick to help, kind of break the ice or get involved with people.
Yeah.
And he would just go to the extreme doing crazy stuff. But he was not an outgoing guy. He wanted to be kind of quiet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. I always thought that dude was always on.
Yeah.
He was always doing stuff,
Right.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, larger than life kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a ID break, come right back. We got a real interesting thing. I've been watching these real estate people because recently my in-laws, my brother and sister-in-law are buying a house up here. They're moving up here. So we've had a lot of conversations with real estate people in our church. And I was having a conversation with Mandy McGockian about this. And I said, hey, do you ever, as a real estate person, just want to be honest? Like, I know you're honest about what you're doing. I'm not saying you're not. But, I mean, would you really just want to say what you're really thinking about a situation and not be a salesperson trying to sell a property for somebody else? And I said, it's funny because as soon as I said that, I was online and I was listening to some TikToks.
Yeah.
And there's a real estate person that does this.
Okay.
Like, that's her thing. Like, she is the, this... tell it how it is,
right.
real estate person.
Hey, do you like it cozy? Actually, this is the size of a dog kennel.
Right, yeah, and that's what she does. And so all of her listings are like that. So she goes around and videotapes these houses that she's actually selling.
That's hilarious.
But she just says what she's really thinking.
Okay.
And people love her style because she's just
honest.
Yeah, she just, I don't think real estate people are dishonest, but she's just saying what she feels about the situation.
Yeah.
And so there's a real estate person that I found, and they give some examples of some of the listings that they put in their videos or the way they would have conversations with people as they're coming in their home. So we're going to look at some of these things that are pretty funny. We'll be right back.
Live from an undisclosed location somewhere under the church fellowship hall, possibly near the coffee pot, it's Gary, Ted, and Alex with more podcasts. Stay tuned for more.
So Comedy Duel, they decided to grab some of these listings they found, and so they put it on their TikTok.
Yeah.
And they've got over 6 million views of these listings.
This is the Inspired Unemployed Comedy Duo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the Inspired Unemployed.
And these guys aren't real estate people, but they think it's funny to hear some of these things these people are saying. I don't know if it's maybe a real estate person just having a bad day and they don't really care anymore. They've just been trying to sell a house. Yeah. So some of the things they've said are that they found people have said on a listing description. This is what they said. It says, when I say cozy, I mean you can touch the stove and the shower at the same time from your bed. That was an actual listing. I thought that was pretty good. Here's another one. On an open house, they said, yes, we baked cookies before you came because the smell of drywall and mildew doesn't sell. I mean, can you imagine having a
plaster?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
that's usually it, right? It's like the last bit of paint is drying or whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Trying to just spruce it up a touch before. Yeah.
Don't mind the marijuana smell from vaping in here. Nobody's actually ever smoked. They just vaped and. You'll get over it. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, right.
On price negotiation, this house is priced at $450,000, which is about $150,000 more than it should be. But hey, granite countertops.
That's right.
That's a sales point right there.
Granite countertops.
I mean, if you got that, you could sell a house for another $100,000 easy.
Right.
I remember when we bought our house. I don't know if you remember your situation, but when we bought our house, it was only about 5 years ago. And our real estate person was Linda Jakeway, and she's just if you need a real estate person, talk to her. She's really good.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because when we were going through it, the owners were still living there, and so they were doing the tour, not her.
Okay.
And so we went in there.
You went through with the owners of the house.
Owners of the house, yeah.
That is very unique, I would think.
Yeah. And so they were, telling us all about the history of different things they've had in their house, and we're like, we're not keeping that stuff, But they're like, we're leaving this stuff here because we're moving.
Like grandma's finest
I know.
hearth, and you're like, that's gonna get burned.
That's getting out of here. We're getting rid of that. But it's so funny because Linda Jakeway through the whole thing, she was just like, she kept her mouth shut the whole time because she didn't want to say anything beyond what they were trying to say. But afterwards, she's like, "Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? You like it? Yeah, we love it. I mean, there's a lot of great things here, but yeah, it was just so funny because you could just tell in her face, like she just wanted to say, like, no, they don't care about the pictures hanging on the wall that they're probably going to get rid of, but the owners did. Yeah.
Gosh.
On neighborhood descriptions, when I say up and coming, I mean hold on to your wallet, but in 5 years you'll brag about being a pioneer. How many people have those kind of homes? When you bought your house, did did the neighbors tell you like any interesting history about your house? Like,
a little bit.
Do you need to?
Yeah.
Do you know what they did in that house? You know, or anything like that?
Bit,
yeah. Those are always the fun conversations. Yeah.
One of the unique ones with my house was the guy who had it before worked for Brunswick, the bowling company.
Okay.
And so he had all these countertops that underneath were old bowling floors.
Oh.
Or alleys, right?
Yeah, bowling alleys, yeah.
They're like, so all the shelving in the garage were these bowling alley tops. And
He probably thought that was pretty cutting edge.
I did. He did. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, it's just in my garage, so what do I care? But
I thought I'd been over your house before you got your stairs done. You had that big chain. Chain railing.
So he was a welder, and he got the chain out of the cement drums at St. Mary's Cement in Charlevoix. It's an enormous chain.
These were big. These are big links.
He thought it was cool, so he linked them together as a banister. It looks like a castle.
Yeah,
and they're painted black.
Yeah, it was stunning. I mean, those are heavy. I bet.
Yeah, right. Shout out Sean Meyer for taking them out of my house.
Took them out of there. Got rid of them.
Sean and crew, man.
I mean, what you have to use like a massive tool to cut that apart and get it out of there. I mean,
I think Jake did it. It was it might have. It was. I think it was Jake, and I think it was Tom Dale who,
oh my gosh,
cutting and whacking at that thing. But
in our house, what they did was they would find like antique pieces or whatever, and bring them into the house. And then one of the things they found was an old house that had cedar walls, cedar paneling walls. So they took all that out, and they were just 1x5 boards, and so they made cabinets out of it.
Ooh.
They put it on. Oh no, not ooh, because it's so rough.
Yeah, right.
Like it collects dust and whatever.
How do you clean this?
How do you clean it? Yeah, and so you have to vacuum it to get the dust off. But I mean, clean it. And so we're like, oh my gosh, my wife, she's like, we've got so many times we got slivers going, trying to get in our cupboards,
Sure.
So finally we got it out of there. I was like, oh, this is so fun. And we just ripped
put
it
all
out.
the treats in there, man. That's a good diet plan.
Yeah, right. You
want a sliver or do you want that cookie?
Yeah, right. It was terrible. All right, here's the last one that was interesting they brought up. On their lifestyle, yes, that's a leased BMW in the driveway. No, I don't actually own a house myself. Yeah. How many realtors do you know that have those great cars?
Boy.
Yeah. Little Corvettes running around. And,
I never got that.
With the guy that you're with or a woman?
No, I never understood why.
Right.
Why do that?
Because it says success, right? That's what you think. That's what you think.
In my mind, it does not.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm more of a realist on that. I like, if you have your beat up truck that you're proud of, man, drive me around in that thing.
Or, like a minivan.
Yeah.
That says to me that you're a family.
I'm working.
Yeah, you're a family person. I'm working.
Yep.
I don't want to see like an expensive car because then to me,
right. Who's making the money?
Who's making the money? Yeah,
exactly.
Right. You're going to be selling this so you can get a big commission.
You want that new car,
right? Yeah. Right. So I wouldn't want that person. I don't know. Yeah. The people that sold my in-laws house down in Chicago, this woman, she would act. This is what she would do. She would act like she's so super busy. Like when she'd come over to talk to them about selling a house, or she's gonna have, she'd come in there and then she'd be with them for like 5 seconds, and then she'd be back on her phone.
Oh yeah,
like, oh my gosh, got another sale coming up, and blah blah blah. Yeah. And after a while, they're like, I think that she's doing that on purpose, like trying to make us think that she is that successful.
Yeah.
And she had very few listings that have sold. It's kind of like, come on.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's probably a little sales ploy thing.
Yeah, you do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh. So anyways, these are some things. If you ever find these things on TikTok, now that we're saying it and you're listening to it, you're probably going to start having these pop up. But they're hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
These realtors, especially this one that's, I think it's in Florida.
Yeah, the fresh baked cookie one. Yeah. That's so funny. They have candles and stuff that like just smell like that. Obviously. Oh, yeah. So you just light a candle and go, oh.
Well, have you seen those people that stage those places?
Yeah.
It's not how you'd ever live. And you get in there and they've wiped out all your stuff.
Sure.
And they put in a staging setup. So you're buying this house, you're like, oh, wow, these people are amazing.
Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Yes.
Yeah, so the houses that they stage.
Yeah. And they're living in one of their model homes.
They're living in the staged house, so all the furniture just randomly breaks. They forget the grapes are plastic.
Right, yeah. I know, that was so funny. Yeah, and what is it? One of the bathrooms is not even functioning.
It isn't even real.
Yeah, it's not even real. It's just fake faucets and stuff. Yeah, that was great. Well, we're going to take an ID break. We're coming back with a new segment, Fantasy Football Breakdown with Pastor Ted. He's ready.
I am so ready.
He's ready. And we have all the teams listed. And we got, 3 weeks until
Yeah.
Is it 3 weeks?
It's we are September 5th. I just looked this up, so I am prepared.
Yeah.
It's September 5th. We're there. We made it, as they say in the football land.
Yes.
We have made it.
And finally, we can have 17 weeks of...
We have football till February, buddy.
Yeah, it's just going to be amazing.
It's
so
the best time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas is great.
It is.
I'm going to say Christmas is great, but this is way better.
Yeah, I honestly, this is just... We'll talk about it. Let's get there.
Yeah, let's come back. Yeah.
Binge the More podcast. It's calorie-free, sugar-free, and yet somehow still leaves you spiritually stuffed. So, get your stretchy pants on because we have more.
So as we were saying there before the break,
Yeah.
right? This is the best time of the year.
It is.
And we have, both, cards on the table. We're at my house, we're a little nuts about football.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I can see why.
Yeah. Eli started practice. Theo's been doing 7-on-7 football since like literally February.
Yeah.
So we're just go. Like all
ready
the
to go.
time. We have this saying, Jesus is life first, but we'll also say ball is life to one another. It's a little ridiculous.
And in Eloise, she just suffers.
I've had some conviction from my lady friend who's like, hey, you got to watch it with this. Like,
do I
have some
do
time
I need to watch
with your
it?
daughter that isn't about football? And Eloise is the sweetest, so she's a good sport and supports.
Well, that's what the weekdays are for.
Yeah, well, and she has volleyball and all that
Yeah.
stuff too. So I am going to try to be more intentional. So more podcast listeners, why don't you write in and tell me maybe how can I be more intentional with my daughter this season of football?
All right, Ted. Now, wait a minute. Before you start,
Yes, sir.
I have your background music.
Oh, yes,
You ready?
I am. Yes.
This is your background music for you doing
All right.
the fantasy football breakdown.
I love it. All right. So we are about 2 weeks away from our fantasy football kickoff of the Harbor Light Sunday Fun Day League. Now, I want to make sure that we all know what's going on here with this fantasy football. Every week, you're going to get an update of wins and losses, right?
Yeah.
Who played who. And if you're new to fantasy football, but you just know us as knuckleheads on this thing or at church, it will be fun for us to just be able to talk trash to one another.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys to hear all of it. It'll be so fun.
Maybe we can get some other teams to come in and talk
That'd
about.
be so fun.
Yeah,
it'd be
their
so
situation.
fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull up our schedule here real quick, and then here are our names. Okay.
Okay,
We
Let's
talked
do it.
about some of the names last week, but we have my son Theo, who is in 8th grade, and his name is the Big Dogs.
Okay.
Big Dog.
I like that.
John Walker, Elder Extraordinaire.
That's his
Sound
name.
guy extraordinaire
Oh, yeah.
here at Harbor Light is inconceivable. Mr. James Good is James Team Good.
I love it.
And then we've got Pastor Alex
Yes.
is the Benchers.
The Benchers.
And then Neil's is Neil's Nifty Team, which I'm not sure about that. I think all of our favorites now is Mr. Brad Hall's The Immaculate Reception.
Yes, that is good.
So good. Pastor Gary's, we talked about Jesus is him, helping him out with the
That's good.
grandkids there. James Walker, the Jesus Jukes, AJ Clemens, Holy Rollers, and that's our team here for the
Wait, what's
that's our
yours?
season. Oh yeah, so mine is a little kind of like a little more of a deep dive. If you remember the TV show Friday Night Lights, the coach would always say clear eyes, full hearts, and then the team would yell back at him, can't lose.
And that's what's your team.
That's mine, is clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. All right, so we're just gonna give you all the updates. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
There is gonna be like a WWE wrestling belt that will be the trophy, so which will be fun. That will live in the green room.
I love it.
Yeah, and so we would love to hear who you're rooting for as a listener, and it's just going to be a good time.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, it's going to be a good reason for us to hang out together more.
That's right, yeah.
After church and yell at professional athletes, like we
know what we're talking about.
It matters. There is $0 involved in this, so
but there might be a trophy or a belt or something.
There's a belt, and there is all kinds of pride on the line, folks. So Harbor Light Sunday Fun Day League officially kicks off in 2 weeks, and we'll just have so much fun talking about this.
This is good. I'm like, this music between what you're saying and what this music is doing, I'm like super pumped right now. I don't know. Man. I feel like I'm in church.
Who do you think was your biggest pick? So, like, we could talk a little bit about, like, usually the strategy. So we're a 10-person league.
Right.
So usually the strategy within fantasy football is you want to take, you need the best, the hardest positions.
Yeah.
Means, like, the less talented guys at that position.
Okay.
Right? So running backs usually are hardest to find. So usually running backs go first, or a receiver goes first.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of fun to see in our league. I think I was the first one to take a quarterback.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think so.
You went for it.
Well, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
He's a great fantasy football quarterback, so he's worth about 40 points a game.
Yeah, you're going to go with that one.
Yep. But you could get a quarterback 3 rounds later at about a 5-point deficit.
Right, yeah.
It's not that big. So the value is high at quarterback.
Right.
So who was your best pick, you think?
Honestly, Ted, I don't know, because I did the automatic drafting, and I was at a banquet. So
can I tell you what your roster is?
Yeah.
Would you like to know?
Let me know what it is.
Yeah, let me look here if I can get it.
All I know is that I was just kept
auto-drafted.
I'm just auto-drafting.
So you would like to know your players?
Yeah, what do I have for a quarterback? I want to know.
Jalen Hurts.
That's not bad.
He's not a bad. He's not going to get you a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Or not a lot of points passing.
Yeah, but I'll take him.
He's a runner.
He's a runner.
Running quarterbacks are good fantasy quarterbacks. So, this is where Theo should be here. You have the running back from Miami. He's a high-rated guy. You have Tyreek Hill. So
yeah,
you have
okay. Hill's good.
Puka Nacua is also a good receiver.
I'll take him.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, man, it ain't great.
No. I got a D rating on my draft picks. But okay, so AJ told me this. This is what AJ said. He said people that a lot of time win fantasy football are not the A's and the B's.
Exactly.
He says usually C's and D's. And so I'm banking on the fact, being a bencher team.
That's right.
That maybe we'll squeak it out.
Yeah, there is always that, like, joke of the guy who just auto drafts is usually the guy that wins, and he's like, I didn't know I was going, but Gary, he came up to me Sunday and he's like, so how'd I do?
Yeah, he auto draft too.
Yeah, I think he was he's like, I did the first couple rounds or whatever, but
I couldn't. I'm listening to people tell some sad stories. I can't be sitting there going,
I know. It was,
this is awesome.
I felt bad about that, but it's like impossible to get 10 people together to do something like this. So it's just fun that technology
it'll be fun to see what happens.
Us to do
I'm glad they had the auto draft feature, because I'd be like really in trouble.
Sure. Yeah, no, and it's just cool because it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a good time.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we're going to take an ID break, and we'll come right back with Harbor Light Bible trivia question, and we will then get into some Bible talk today. Pastor Ted and I are going to try to do our best to go through what was said on Sunday and have some good questions about that.
Long ago, in a church office not so far away, 3 men armed only with Bibles, microphones, and a questionable amount of coffee set out on a mission to make you laugh, make you think, and occasionally make you say, wait, was that even in the Bible? First, there was Gary, part pastor, part dad joke machine, and part mystery. Mostly because no one knows where he keeps finding those golf shirts. Then Ted, man of faith, man of wisdom, and man who once tried to fix the church copier with duct tape and a worship CD. And finally, Alex, he's the glue that holds it all together, mainly because he's the only one who actually knows how to work the record button.
That's true.
Together, they are the More Podcast, because sometimes a sermon just isn't enough. You need more.
That is so true.
it is.
That's all I'm here for.
I don't know about the wisdom thing, but for me,
well, I mean, I want to know what worship CD they were using. Was it like Michael W. Smith?
Yeah.
Worship at Red Rock, or that would be a good one.
I was the Flood album.
Oh yeah.
What was the band's name?
Delirious.
Yeah, that was a good album.
That was
Delirious was good, man.
What happened to them?
Stu G. Well, so Stu, the guitar player, he plays for Michael W. Smith. He's
does
the guitar player. Yeah, and he's the guy who kind of like pioneered that worship guitar, dotted eighth, U2-y kind of sound. Yeah. But I mean, because that Delirious had that vibe for sure.
But where did they? I mean, they just kind of like disbanded.
Yeah, but I think the singer and Stu are still active in music. Mm-hmm. Stu very much so. He's kind of the guitar player. You can buy all his IEMs online and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All his stems and stuff for guitar stuff. And then I forget the singer's name, but they've done stuff together, and there's sort of talk of like, why aren't you guys just doing Delirious again?
Yeah, right. Let's do it.
People would do it. But
that's like with Petra. Like 5 years ago, Petra had done their we're retiring tour.
Yeah.
And so what's his face? The lead singer, can't think of his name, who was in the 70s and 80s, big singer. He sang with them and did all the old classic songs, and then they're like, we're retiring. But John Schlitt, the lead singer that left, was the last singer they had.
Yeah.
He went on his own. He was going to start doing his own thing.
Okay.
Well, like 2 years ago, they're like, we really don't want to retire. Like we can still play.
Yeah.
But they're all like in their late 60s.
Sure.
I think even some of them are getting near 70.
Oh wow.
And so they're playing now again.
Cool.
And so they are starting to go touring like churches, to play.
Yeah.
It's just funny because it's like the geriatric version of Petra, because they just can't move anymore. They're like, we're going to stand here and not move.
That was before my day.
Yeah. Petra is amazing.
It's like prog rock.
Yeah.
Right? Like Rush.
Some of it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when John Schlitt got into him, because he's the one that he was big in the secular music industry back in the 80s, and then he got saved and started singing with them.
Yeah.
But Greg X Volts, that's who it was. Greg X Volts was a singer before John Schlitt. And Greg X Volts, he wanted to be going into full-time ministry at his church.
Okay.
And he was in a smaller church. He just wanted to go back doing that. He didn't want to sing anymore. But the whole thing is that their music was so cutting edge for rock and roll Christian music, and it just seemed like it stayed like that. I mean, there's secular bands recorded some of their stuff, like God Gave Rock and Roll to You,
sure,
that kind of stuff. I think Kiss did that one.
Really?
Yeah, Kiss did a cover of that. Yeah,
no way.
So there's a lot of those songs that are floating around.
Sure,
I mean they're really good. But it's
were
just
they very active on stage?
Well, they were when they were younger. Yeah, I mean, but now it's just like.
I just remember the drummer
sitting in a stool.
had a huge drum set.
Yeah, well, he was one of the first ones that he got me into DW drums because he was the first one that was really selling those things, and so I bought the Matrix set from DW a long time ago. That was the one with the quick release heads.
Oh, cool!
So if you had to change a head out, you don't have to change your tuning. You just put a new head on and lock it down, and it's the same thing. It was nice. I don't know what happened to that technology, but anyways, that was what I had, and it was because of him that I got this DW set. Yeah, so Petra was a really big thing, but the same thing with Stryper. Stryper, they're all getting into their 60s now, and
is it Michael Stewart?
Michael Sweet.
Sweet, that's right.
The Sweet brothers, Robert and Michael. And Robert used to have the drummer used to have this amazing set.
Yeah.
And now he's down to like little 5-piece.
Weird looking.
Oh yeah.
It was always, I mean, obviously the colors were weird, but
Strypers,
yeah, it was like black. Giant toms and kind of the Tommy Lee.
He had those 80s. Big toms that look like big horns coming off.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he used to be, a really well-renowned drummer. I mean, even secular drummers would say Lars from Metallica said, hey, Robert Sweet is good. But they just kind of, have just kind of, faded off, and then they came back and started recording stuff, and they're like, we're just going out with a bang. We don't care what we record, we're just doing it. So they keep putting out albums every couple of years.
Yeah, that's fun.
So, all right, so here we are with Bible trivia.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bible trivia this week, we're taking it out of Exodus chapter 14, verse 13, and there are 3 things that Moses said to the people they have to do before they cross. And there are 3 statements that he made in Exodus chapter 14, verse 13. So if you know this answer, we've actually used it, and we actually talked about it in a couple sermons.
Yep.
So Exodus chapter 14, verse 13, there's 3 things that Moses says, 3 statements that he says that the people have to do. And so what we want you to do is send those statements to us at harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com.
Chapter 13.
Chapter 14, verse 13. 14.
Sorry, I got it backwards.
And send them into harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know what you think.
Okay. I'm looking it up because I don't know it.
Yeah, they're 3 statements.
Okay.
And as soon as you see them,
those are good statements, too, folks.
You'll know.
Look that up.
You'll know as soon as you see them. So send those in. We'll put you on the Wheel of Destiny by Wilson Insurance, and then we'll spend to see if you win. Maybe you can beat Mary this time, because normally, I don't know why she is always winning.
She hasn't the last couple times.
Well, yeah, but it's been
we're
like
making
2 in a
sure
row.
It's not waiting.
Well, I've been checking it. I don't even know that. Maybe she has a remote control or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But Mandy won the bacon Band-Aids last time,
which she loved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was balking at first. She's like, bacon Band-Aids.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, wait till you use them.
And then Lisa Kay was throwing shade at them.
I know, but they're great.
I bet you they come back with some cool stuff.
Well, Lisa Kay is making cookies this time.
That's right.
So if you win this time,
you're going to get
Lisa
Lisa
making
Kay's chocolate chip cookies.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
so I'm just letting you know you're going to want to be in this drawing. So send that into harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. I might even get in on this one with a false email. You know.
Yeah.
See what happens. All right, we'll be right back with Bible Talk.
Your day is about to get better. How do we know? Because you press play on the More podcast. You're welcome. We will be right back.
I don't know. I think that, I know it's your fantasy football breakdown, but I mean, to like start the Bible Talk like this. I mean, doesn't it sound like, come on, everybody! It's time for Bible Talk. I don't know. I just like that. It gets me going every time I hear it.
For sure, man.
Bob Seger, Hollywood Nights.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like Bob Seger.
Yeah, well, I don't know how it's going to go over the internet. This is my thought.
Is that Bob Seger?
It's Bob Seger, but it's a karaoke version of it.
Yeah, okay.
But the thought is, a lot of times they shut us down because we don't have the copyright for it. But on YouTube, these karaoke things are on there, and they don't have copyrights for it, and they don't get shut down. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Well, welcome back to this podcast. Today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping moments in the Bible, the crossing of the Red Sea. And yes, we have finally crossed the Red Sea this week. And here's why it matters. This isn't just a story about Israel escaping danger. It's a reminder that the same God who turned an impossible barrier into a bridge of deliverance is still doing that in our lives today. So before you scroll past or tune out, lean in, because what God did for them might be exactly what he wants to do for you. Mm-hmm. So here we are with, so Pastor Gary, he
got us across.
He read the whole chapter, got us across, and we did the review for.
Everyone cheered.
Yeah, I mean, it was so funny. That's the thing that's been so funny about this whole series is that people have been tense about it.
Sure.
Like, it's almost like they were there.
Right, it's coming.
Right.
All right, we know it's coming. Is it today?
No,
not yet. Not this week. Yeah.
And I told PG, I said, did you plan that? Like you were trying to build the intention behind it, and so that people would feel that way when you get to that point. And he's like, no, he goes, but it's funny that is actually what's happening, is that people are like getting into the story so much, like we want to cross already. It's like we got to get there.
Yep.
Ted, one of the things that was brought up in this this sermon this Sunday was, this question: why do you think God sometimes leads us into situations where escape seems impossible? Even when we're being obedient. Why do you think that sometimes, we're in a situation and we've been living for the Lord, we've been, acting the way we should. It's not like we're living in a life of sin, but it doesn't seem like God is doing anything yet. I mean, what do we do? I mean, how do we deal with that? Why do you think God makes that happen that way?
Well, I think it's something that the Lord has really been resonating with me lately, has been, the purpose of the Christian life, or the purpose of trial in your life, is not the end result. The purpose is to just be with God. So maybe a more clear way of saying that is the purpose of the Christian life is not to get stuff, but it's just to be with God.
Yeah, I like that.
So, I think when the situation arises where we aren't getting the answer or the relief or whatever, it's Scripture over and over and over tells us God's promise is to never leave or forsake us.
Right.
And so hint, hint for Bible trivia there.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's what the promise is from the Lord over and over and over. And that is the greatest experience you could have. That is the greatest reward you could get, is God's presence, not him rescuing you from the captors in the Red Sea. Right.
Right. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that a lot of that is that's what we are expecting. You know, and I've mentioned this before. In my Sunday school class, we were talking about this. You know, sometimes we get in this mindset of us being we serve a God who's kind of like a genie in the bottle, right? And so our entire relationship with him is based on that qualifier. Like, if you save me from this, then I'll do whatever you want.
Right. It's transactional.
Yeah, it's transactional. Yeah. Good word.
Yep.
And one of the things, though, I was thinking about as we've gone through the series too, is that we've kind of moved away from a really big word that used to be in the church a lot, is that God is sovereign.
Yeah.
You know, and that word sovereign is something that we don't say a lot about, because then it takes God away from this ideology that we have that he is, you know, the fuzzy wuzzy God of John 3:16.
Yes. Yep.
And, you know, I believe God can be your friend. God wants to talk to you. God wants to get to know you. But at the same time, he's God. Yeah. And in that whole idea is that he can do whatever he wants, when he wants, how he wants to do it. Yeah. And when we start creating an image of God in our minds where we have some sort of control, like we can manipulate him in a way so that he does what we want, then we put him in a situation where that's not God anymore. Right. Then basically he's a fortune cookie that we try to have, you know, come true. And you know, for me, it is kind of disheartening to see that a lot of Christians have begun to move in that realm of thinking. Yeah. And it is not necessarily true, but I think when you look at this question about, you know, sometimes we're in a situation like that and we're saying, God, why am I here? You know, it's okay to ask those questions. God's not saying don't ask those questions. But at the same time, the solution to that answer is it's because he can do whatever he wants. Yeah. And I'm just praying that God help me understand it as I'm moving through it. Yep. And then that's why, you know, it answers some of the big questions, right? Like, you know, why did good people die? Right. You know, why did good things happen to bad, or why did bad things happen to good people? You know, and we can say, well, there's a lot of reasons why we think that, but you know, if we really get down to it, God does whatever he needs to do. Sure. And the long game is what we never get to see. We only see what's initially in our situation, right? Yep. In my crisis moment, I'm losing it. Yep. So God, where are you? You know, what are you going to do here? And, you know, sometimes God allows these situations to have a greater good. And that's one of the things we found out about this story, is that God orchestrated all this to show his glory, not to the people that were following him at that point, but to the Egyptians, to show his glory and how powerful he was to the people that were coming after them. Yeah. And a lot of times that happens in our lives. God uses us to show his glory. And, you know, you can balk at that all you want, but that's the truth. Yep. And that is a great truth to begin to start grappling with in your own Christian journey, because then the answers that you're always trying to come up with answers for, you don't need to. Right. You know, Jesus told his disciples, pray his will be done, not yours. Yeah. It takes us out of the equation. I mean, there's nothing we can do to make this thing move in a certain direction. God will do what he wills. Right. And that's the best place we can be. And, you know, as we begin to do that, it's amazing. You know, God's not like orchestrating in our lives things so that we have to be always like, oh my gosh, here I go again through this. But there will become times where you have to deal with it, and that's okay. Yeah. You know, that is okay that you deal with that. And, you know, we learn in a little minute part of our lives when we go through struggles, how much more we learn in the struggles than if we were just kind of skating through with no friction, no issue. You learn so much more. So
I think one of the things that came to my mind when I was listening to you there was, I feel like evangelical Christianity has a problem at times of thinking Jesus is your friend. Yeah, he is your friend. Yes, right. He is. But Jesus isn't, God isn't your therapist. Right. You know, God isn't your best friend that you're sitting at coffee with. Right. There are aspects of that. Right. And I got the image of a fishbowl. When you said the word sovereignty, I love thinking about the sovereignty of God, because it does do that for me, of put me in my place. Yeah. And so when I know my place and I see God is more holy and righteous and set apart than me, right? He's greater in trust too, because I know my best friends, and those are great people, but they're also people.
Right.
And I need my God to not be that. I need him to be sovereign. I need him to be, the creator of all things and the one who his ways are not my ways. I need that. And I think in evangelical culture, one of our downfalls has been, Jesus is your personal Lord and Savior, but he is Lord and Savior, right? It's not just the personal part. And so, it's the weird thing of, God is in the details and God knows far greater than you. And you really have to trust him at times to just go, I don't get it, but I don't have to, because you've proven yourself faithful over and over.
Right. Yeah, and that what you just said was just perfect, because the issue is that we cannot. I mean, we come to a problem or crisis in our life, and we bring emotional issues, we bring frustrations, we bring things that are short-sighted into the conversation, and and God in his patience and grace and mercy still has the conversation with us, even though we don't even know where to even begin to understand this, and that's where we a lot of times find ourselves in prayers, that we're praying, God, I'm coming to you this, but of course I'm short-sighted. I don't understand all this stuff, but I'm still, praying that God, you give me some evidence or some understanding of whatever's going on. But at the same time, he may not want to show us all that, because there's things in there that we don't need to know yet, or we can't begin to understand or handle. And that's okay.
Well, and if you knew it, maybe you'd do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe you just be like, I'm not doing it.
Screw it up. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not doing it, because that's the end result. I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
And, the thing is that we don't serve ourselves. We serve a king.
Sure.
And we serve the kingdom, and we're kingdom people first. And so, what he requires of us is what we do. And that's part of the transactional relationship we do have with him, is that when we say, I want to be your servant, I want to be your disciple, we also are giving up a lot of our personal desires for what our agendas are. Yeah. And we say, okay, God, whatever you need, I'm going to do that. So, another thing that came out during this this last sermon is this question: in your own life, has there ever been a Red Sea moment when the very thing that threatened you became the thing God used to deliver you? Have you ever had that moment?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I think that the very thing that threatened me became the thing that God used to deliver me. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, part of my story is divorce, you know what I mean? And you do feel like you're just dead in the water. And it has been pretty amazing to see how God has made beauty out of ashes there.
Yeah.
Part of my story is, being here at Harbor Light and seeing what the Lord's done with my kids here and all that stuff, which is very cool. I was thinking about this question I won't use names because it's not my story to tell, but we have a good friend of ours today who is now walking with the Lord who wasn't. And, it was, statements of, I will never become a Christian. I'm going to hang out with you. Right. But I will not become a Christian.
I'm not drinking the juice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he drank it.
Yeah. He wanted seconds.
That's right.
He wanted seconds on it. Yeah.
But it's just that, it's just funny how the Lord works with that stuff of going, hey, you think that you're in the pit of this, but I'm going to use this for my glory.
Yeah.
And guess what? His glory usually includes your rescue.
Right.
His glory usually includes your building up. And so that looks different, again, from our worldly perspective of, well, God's going to build me up, so maybe I'm getting that ministry jet there, Pastor Alex.
Yeah.
Probably not that. But, just a greater sense of his glory shown in your life is going to be such a testimony for other people. I keep getting reminded of that John Piper quote, that from his book, Don't Waste Your Life. You remember that book?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, God is most glorified when you are most satisfied in him.
Oh, wow,
and so good. I think, that just keeps popping up in my head of God's glory is seen when you recognize, again, the prize isn't this thing that you put your hands on, but it's him.
Right. Do you, when you're talking, I was thinking about this other thing. Do you think sometimes that in the Christian experience, especially us coming from more of a conservative background into this, that we kind of venture off into sort of a fatalistic idea of our Christian journey? Like, when Jesus says, we have to give our lives, we only sacrifice our lives, pick up the cross. Those kind of passages of scripture kind of really jump out at us.
Yeah.
And then people that come into the faith that don't really have not been experiencing that, they don't want to look at those things because that sounds really like dark. But do you think that there's a good balance that we need to carry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, the pick up your cross or die to yourself stuff that Jesus does say, but it's that interesting paradox that we see within God and Scripture always is Jesus also says he's come to give life and life in abundance.
Yeah.
And I've always said, like, once Jesus gets a hold of you, he will ruin your plans in the best way.
Yeah.
He's going to turn your life upside down.
Yeah.
And, like if we've told those stories, I would not be here today if it was up to my own decision making.
Yeah.
Right. I would have pursued something else in my head that I thought was greater. But I'll tell you what, man, I know my life ain't perfect, but I have so much fulfillment and feeling purpose, joy, and significance because of what the Lord's done in my life, and knowing that regardless of a title at a church, it's not about that. But for the listener, that if you're a child of his, he's called you to purpose and significance and meaning. And that is, as someone, we've talked about this on the podcast, as people who struggle with mental health stuff and depression, that kind of thing, you have purpose and significance that's far greater than yourself by, living for the Lord and being able to see your life as a catalyst for his kingdom to grow in other people's.
Right. Yeah.
And that, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah. Amen
nothing
to that.
better.
Amen to that. I think it's interesting. I've noticed this, and I've had other people tell me kind of similar testimonies in their own way, but I really think that God does, like the children of Israel, it puts us in a position where we're kind of hedged in, where the only choice is, it's a real black and white choice. There's no gray area anymore.
Right.
Like, it's either do this or don't do this.
Right.
And I've noticed that in my own Christian journey, that God has done that and orchestrated those things as we go along, so that I'm having to make a decision to either go forward in his purpose or to go the other way and not.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, in his love and free will, we can go back to Egypt if we wanted to.
Yeah.
He's not going to stop us.
Right.
But why would you want to go back there when the plan to move forward is so much better? And I remember in our ministry time, when there were moments where I was tempted to say, I'm chucking it, I'm done.
Yep.
But God would hedge it in so well to where, there was not like a plan B that would work well. There's nothing that would have ever accomplished what I'm doing now. And I'm not talking financially, but emotionally, safety, fulfillment, all those things. And so, you're like, I'm getting done. I'm done. I'm going to go whatever else and get into. And the truth is, it's never good. And I think when you are walking with the Lord and you have these moments where you're in the Red Sea and you're trapped between the water and Egypt, God orchestrates those things so that you begin to clearly see his purpose.
Yeah.
Because I think when you do have the option for gray areas or plan B that you think could be a possibility, you're not always listening to when God's speaking. Your mind's everywhere else.
Right.
All the possibilities that you can do. But when that is taken off the table and it's just two decisions, either go forward or move back to where you were, it becomes very clear where you're going to go, because going back is not good.
Sure.
And we all know it. I think even people in Israel, when they were walking in the desert, they realized that was probably not a smart idea, because they're going to go back to being slaves. They're going to go back to all the stuff they didn't want to be a part of before. They throw it on the table. It's kind of like a kid that says, well, I'm just going to do this then,
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing you could possibly use as an argument. God wants you to move forward. And so I think what's interesting is that God does that with us a lot. And if you're in that situation right now in your life, the plan to move forward is so much better, regardless of whatever you're thinking is a plan B. Just continue forward.
Yep.
And it may not be easy. It may seem like an act of uber faith,
right,
to do what you got to do, but do it anyways, because the outcome is going to be so much better, and you actually will be in the place that God has called you to. It could be your promised land, whatever you want to call it, but the place that God has marked for you to be. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be ministry. It could be anything that God's put in your heart. But to do it, because that possibility is not good.
Yeah. What's the PG use the shipmen on the ships who are going to battle on the shore, and they go, "Hey boys, burn the ships. There's no plan B here.
That's
we're
right.
Just going in and we're taking this.
We're not going back.
Right, not going back. So burn the ships. Right, go with plan A because there's no plan B.
Yeah, and then you have to do that. I remember it's something similar to that. One of my friends told me when I was having a crisis, and he's like, you know what? At some point in ministry, you got to burn the bridge. You have to burn the bridge. You have to just get rid of it. And And for me, I never really thought about it that way. I'm like, wow, there's a bridge, but the truth is there is. I mean, whenever your thoughts begin to start moving back to the previous life or what you think you possibly can orchestrate if you went back to something different. And, that's what I think is interesting with us in ministry, you, me, PG, and everybody else that's on staff here. There is no option, I think people don't understand. It's not necessarily that we're walking in this job and it's just amazing and there's just so much, there's fulfillment.
Yep.
But the one thing that locks us in all the time is that there is no possibility to go back. We would never be able to do it. If we went back to something else, it would just not work. It would not be what you want. And you would kind of fizzle out and fade out and you would just kind of meander off into the sunset. You know, it's not something that would actually bring to you what you want. And I think anybody that's praying for God's will to be done in their life, that is the option. The option is to go back to something that's not even close to what you want.
Right.
And it sounds good when it's really tough to move forward, but lock in and go.
Do it. I mean, and that just kind of brings us to that next question of why do people often struggle more with how God delivers than the belief that he can?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, what is that about, the how God's going to deliver? I struggle with that more than the belief that he can. I mean, I think if it's up to me, my plans are very different.
Right.
Right. Like, God, get me out of this circumstance and this is how you should do it. It's just never how God does it.
Right. No, ever.
But in hindsight, and I'm sure we could get many more seasoned Christians in this room to talk about that, of God's ways are better than ours. And it's just that age-old human thing that we have of, we don't really believe it when we're in the middle of it, but we can see it once we're through it.
Yeah.
And we certainly see that story in Exodus, and we see that within the specific of the crossing of the Red Sea.
Right. We like control, right?
Solve the problem, but do it my way, not yours.
Right. Well, my wife laughs at me all the time because when we get on a plane, I hate being on a plane.
Yeah.
And the one thing is because I'm not in control. I don't have my hands on the steering wheel. I don't have any control of what's happening. I'm at the mercy of whoever's flying that plane. And for a lot of ways for me, it's like, it is a faith, it's a mirror of my faith sometimes that I want to be in control. I want to have my hands on the wheel and I want to steer. And the truth is, that's not how it works in our relationship with God. God does the steering. We're passengers, and it's okay to let God, steer you where he wants you to go. He knows where to go. He's the one watching the road, not us. And he can see way beyond what we can. And, we could be backseat drivers all we want and say, God, hey, I want to move this way. I want to do this. This is a better path. This is, and God in his grace is like, kind of smirking, it's like, do you really know?
Sure.
Do you? And we don't.
Right.
And the best thing we can do in our faith journey is to say, listen, I've got to at some point kind of just close my eyes, put my head back, and let you do the driving.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the destination you've called us to, and that's good. And that is the tough. I don't think I know one Christian that doesn't deal with this on some level at some point in their journey until they go to be with Jesus. There's always something that comes up where that has been put in place. And, but the sooner we begin to recognize that we are passengers in this journey and God's doing the driving, then the better off we are, because the less frustration we have, the less moments where we're like, I just don't know if this is, what God's doing or how he's, those questions go away when you begin to just kind of give God full control of your situation.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap for us.
Is this the end of the series too?
Is it 8?
Are we done after this week?
I don't know. I thought he had one more.
I know a guy who'd known about this.
Maybe he's got one more.
I think he's got one more, but I thought we were done with the bumper.
Oh, no, we got one Sunday next week, right?
One service.
One service. Yeah, okay, so it is different. So he's done. This is it.
Done.
This is done with the series.
A faith-building future is where we're headed on Sunday.
Yeah, so we're moving into, talking about what the church is going to do and where we're at. So,
yeah, hey, if you're listening to this on Thursday, we have our one service. It's our kind of our unity service. It's there's oftentimes questions of why do we do this?
Right.
Why are we going to the Solid Rock Center? And why the idea of Harbor Light's not a giant church, but we're not a little church.
Right.
We're a big church.
Right.
Right. Northern Michigan big church.
We're full body church.
That's right.
Chunky.
full flavored. And so we want people to be able to gather together.
Yeah.
It's fun to be in the same room together, right?
Because we have 2 services.
All right. And so being able to see everybody, that kind of thing. Also, having the ability to cast vision. You know, I really appreciate Pastor Gary's heart in that, of just saying, hey, this is what, you know, some of the things that I've seen in the future or in the past, and where does that lead us in the future? And what a fun thing to come off of the Exodus story with that. You know, it's a good fit there too of see how God's worked in your past, and that will give you some direction of how
what does our promised land look like.
Yep. And so just encourage you. 10 a.m. we're going to be in the Solid Rock Center. So park where you normally park. There's going to be lots of signs. It will not be hard to find. And then stick around afterwards. We're going to have
food.
One last hot dog
fest.
Right. Yep.
With inflatables,
all kinds of stuff for kids, and I think we're going to play cornhole too. So I think there may even be carnival ride or 2 is what I heard. So
for the little ones.
All kinds of stuff for the little
mom
kids.
and dad.
Sorry,
you can't. It's for little guys.
But it's one of those things around here that I always look forward to. It's a good time to see everybody be in the same room. And, you know, sad to say this sort of, but send off summer well.
Yeah, I know it's getting bad.
Summer's done.
We're there. And
stamped.
People are already starting to count down the days of Christmas, which I'm like, please stop.
I'm planning for Christmas
already.
Well, it's part of the gig, right? So I'm thinking Christmas.
Yeah. Well, you have kids in the house.
No, but this is for church stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, you know, pick the theme for the year and all that stuff. So
oh man, the Christmas stuff, Christmas activities.
Yep, Christmas programs and. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, well, how are you going to top last year with
I think we should just do it again.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a great song, the Carol of the Bells thing. This is super fun. I think we should just do it again.
But I told AJ we got to do a little bit more because we need the smoke machine. We need to take this to the next level, like Mannheim Steamroller. Like we need to do, you know, have him maybe come down with a harness and flying in
on a reindeer.
Yeah, on a reindeer playing the song.
That's it, right?
As we walk him across the stage.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Hopefully the reindeer is not scared of music and loud noises. So, because that would be hilarious if
that would be
AJ's on it and it starts taking off down the stage. Yeah.
Well, all kinds of fun stuff. But again, 10 o'clock Sunday, we'd love to see you. And this has been, you know, PG's not in the seat across from us. You had a couple weeks here. This has been a really good series, a really good summer. Series, I kind of like the fact that we were in something the whole summer. You know, PG talked about that a little bit of summer's hard in northern Michigan.
Right.
Like it just is, you know.
Everybody's going out.
Everybody's doing vacations and boats and golf courses and whatever they're doing, and all of it's good. But it's just hard to kind of carry something throughout the whole summer. And I think it worked.
Yeah, it did.
It went really well.
I think it was a lot of fun. And it was so funny to have people have that built tension to the whole thing. Yeah. Come on.
Right.
This is week 4, week 5, week 6, and then finally week 8 we made it across.
Right.
So, we're going to be talking about this next Sunday. What does the promised land look like?
But are you excited for the end of summer, Pastor Alex?
Sort of, kind of, because I got so much stuff I got to get done, and I usually try to wait till it gets a little cooler outside to start really digging into these things and get it done. So that only gives me a real short window to accomplish everything. But again, like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit, you know, to all of our podcasts, I'm just not driven like I used to anymore. I don't care. I'm not in competition with anybody else.
Exactly.
There are so many guys in this church that are so driven, and they can make. Yeah, they're the guy like the Midas touch when it comes to building their houses and doing work around their yards and stuff. And I go over their houses.
You guys are in the woods, though. You don't have a yard, do you?
We don't really. But you know, if they were living there, I'm sure it looked like a Taj Mahal for some of these guys. And I just don't care anymore. I'm just like, you know what?
Yep.
I don't have the energy when I get home at night. I don't feel like, plotting, putting up trim or like fixing whatever it is. If it's not broke. And it's functional. My wife is okay with whatever's going on.
Mama's happy.
That's all that matters. And I told her, I said, you know what? I'm sorry that we visit people's homes, and it is amazing. And you look at their places, and you're like, I wish my house had this. And I'm like, me too. I just don't have the energy.
Sure.
I just don't. And I'm not ashamed to admit it anymore. There was a time where my ego would get in the way, my pride, and I'd be like, I'll do anything. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. And
Well,
I'm
as
not.
long as she doesn't care, you're good, yeah.
I'm just fine. I'm like, you know what? God is. We have a roof over our head. We have heat in the house.
Amen.
We're good.
Yep.
I just don't anymore.
Yeah. Well.
But you're at a time in your life. It's a different story.
Yeah.
So you need to get the drive.
I do. That's true.
I'm at the.
That's true.
I'm at the twilight end of it where we don't care. We just really are looking for
You're
an
not
extra
fading
day.
off into the sunset.
We're just looking for it.
man.
Yeah. Well, my future home is across the street from me. we're gonna get that set up.
Stop.
I'm gonna have a front row seat right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has a cemetery across the street.
I have a cemetery across the street.
Stop that.
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna be a short walk.
God's got lots to do with you guys still.
So, anyways, that's it for us for podcast. Again,
We're moving
PG's
studios.
gone. Yeah, we're moving
so
studios.
We'll keep you up to date. Maybe there'll be a repeater someplace.
Yeah,
here
a
in
couple
the
weeks we
future.
might be out of commission, and so
Just getting the room ready. But
240 episodes. You can go all the way back to the beginning because of Al Krabinsky, who came up with found them
Alan
all,
did it.
and so we got all the way from day one to now.
We were joking, we're like, well, maybe you do like a highlight reel, and then Pastor Matt was saying maybe you just do like a best of or a highlight reel. I'm like, Matt, how do you pick the highlights out of everything that's 100% certified pure gold?
Everything.
Everything second of this podcast.
There are things that have been said on this podcast that even Jesus goes, I can't believe you said that. And it's there for you to find. I'm not going to tell you where they're at, but they're on there.
How do you pick from perfection?
Let me just say, there's an actual
240 times.
There's an actual podcast where Pastor Gary says that he likes to go out in just his boots to put wood in the wood heater. One of the episodes has it in there.
That's your Easter egg.
That's your Easter egg. No, you need to find that.
What is he wearing as he goes and does
just his boots?
That's your Easter egg. Yeah,
just his boots, and he goes out there. So I'm just saying, there are things like that.
Oh boy,
that are out there.
Yep.
And so you got to find them.
Find them.
Yeah,
folks.
240 of them to look for.
240. We'll be back. I don't know when we're moving the podcast, so we maybe even.
We got a couple weeks because we have Hunter coming on, which means we have to move offices here.
Yep.
And so the podcast room is one of the offices we're moving into.
Moving.
So
we got to get moving.
We're working on it right now, but the new studio is going to be high tech.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Better camera angles.
That was
my one.
Ted will feel so much better since he'll be a head on camera.
That's right.
So basically what I'm thinking is when we put the table together, you actually want to be in the middle. So that it's just a front on camera angle.
That's right. Yeah.
You don't want to be on a side where at any point could be a possible side angle.
No, sir.
Okay, I got it. Okay. All right.
Like even now my head hurts because PG hasn't been here. I've just been looking at you. I had to move.
Well, that's when you kind of do a little side thing.
I did, and my neck still hurts, buddy.
Oh, all right. Usually my butt gets kind of numb.
Let's
Anyways,
get out of here. Good job today.
Talk to you later.
We want you to know, find, discover, change with us. More podcast ending transmission. Now.